here today. Did I choose the wrong? Oh no, it's that. We had a look at this, yeah? Last time, okay, good. I think we finished there. Blah, blah, blah. Right, homework. So we had Amber's homework was missing and Larry because he doesn't know how to use Google Classroom. Okay, so your homework was this. Okay? It was write down a paragraph. What's a paragraph, everybody? Can anyone tell me? Do you know? Yeah, you know? What's a paragraph? I can't hear you. I can hear it. What's a paragraph? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll use Google Translate. So you go. Is that Andy? Should I be kind? Kind or cruel? Kind, cruel. Andy, what do you think? Kind or cruel? Okay, cruel. If you don't answer me, you'll be cruel. That's the rule. Right. Japanese, why? Oh, if you don't know, last week you should have Googled. So, that was your, write a paragraph, about 300 words, detailing 3 milestones that you have achieved in your life and 3 milestones that you hope to achieve in the future. Give reasons, explaining why each milestone is or was important to you. Okay? So, most of your homework was good, but some were not good. For example, this. Now, I don't want to make anybody ganga, but, so there's no names. But, what, is this a paragraph? Is this a duanmo? Yes? No? No! It's not a paragraph. 2, is it 300 words? No, it's maybe, I don't know, 30. Right? So that's not good enough. That is not what I asked you to do. This is good. That's a paragraph, and it's at least probably 300 words. Okay? That's what I wanted to see. Many of you did that. Some of you did this because I gave you the, but that's not really a paragraph. But it doesn't matter, it's okay. Right? In the future, if I say paragraph, I mean this. Okay? Something like that. So, now, the first thing I want to do, I chose one homework at random, okay? That means not, I don't like this person, I'm going to choose, right? It was just, I just pick one and I put it on, okay? There's no name, so don't worry, but in every homework, there are mistakes, right? Maybe a lot, maybe a few, but there are some mistakes because you are not native English speakers, okay? So of course you make mistakes, that's okay, no problem. Right, so I want you, I'm going to give you somebody's homework, Don't say who it is, it doesn't matter. I want you to read the homework, okay? And then I want you to make any oops, that should be a K, sorry, I'll change that. And make any corrections that you think are necessary, okay? So 如果你觉得这个应该是这个是错的，应该是那样 right? I want you to write it down. All right? And then when you've finished, you can upload your corrections to Google Classroom. Do you understand? Is there anybody who does not understand? It's okay, I can explain again. I just want you to 改修 their work. Is it 改修修改? I forget, I always mix up the two. 修改, I always do this. 改修, I get two words and then put them the other way. 修改 their work, okay? So, go to Google Classroom. Where is Google Classroom? If it's your homework, don't worry, okay? Don't be embarrassed. There's no name, and it's not bad, it's not wrong, okay? It's just there's a few mistakes. I'm just going to, I think it's a good way to learn, right? To find mistakes and to improve, okay? So it's not to make you feel bad. I don't want you to feel bad. I think I put it in the wrong folder. What's the date today? The 20th is that one. Put it in the wrong folder. Due date is today. Okay, go. Open your Google Classroom on your phone. This is the paragraph. Okay, and just make corrections. And then we'll look at it together. Okay? So, I don't want you to correct your homework. I want you to correct this homework, okay? Don't worry about the format, just the语法, the grammar, the English, okay? That's all. Just look at the sentence. Is it correct or is there a mistake? If there is a mistake, 编辑, edit, highlight something, okay? Tell me where there is a mistake and what it should be, okay? It's a good paragraph. It's not bad, but there are a few mistakes. So let's have a look. Right. These are fine. Like, I don't mind. A few mistakes with the. Should I do the track changes on this thing? Is that right? I hate Chinese. No? Does that not work? Let's try it. No? Screw this thing. Fine, never mind. We'll go old school. Right, I studied together with my classmates and worked hard to get high grades. 有没有问题? Problems? No problems. It's fine. During the 3 years of high school, There were many happy and sad things. Problems? Right, so the grammar is okay, but it sounds a little strange in English. We wouldn't say there are many happy and sad things. We might say, many happy and sad things happened. Right? That's what I'll do. I'll do a line. Okay? After graduation, everyone went to different places and rarely have the opportunity to get together. Is there any mistakes? Are there any mistakes? Is there a mistake? Amber? Did you find a mistake?
It's a strange sentence. But I don't know.
You don't?
Currently mistaken.
After graduation, everyone went to different places and really the mistake is just here. Right?
Yeah, sure.
So there's two had and have here. This is all in the past, right? If it's in the past, we usually have to keep all the tenses in the past. Okay. So here, we rarely have means now, right? We rarely have the chance to meet. It means now we still don't have the chance to meet. But I mean, you could say that everyone's in different places. It depends, and we rarely have the opportunity. Okay, you could say that. You could say that. We rarely have, but you need we here in that case. I'll tell you what, we can keep that. It depends what you want to say. If you want to say still now or in the past, it depends. Okay. First salary. During the summer vacation, I went to find a part-time what? Right? So we need a part-time something, a part-time job. In the end, I chose McDonald's because I like to eat hamburgers. You're not supposed to eat your stock. You're supposed to sell the hamburgers, not eat the hamburgers. You know, my first job was in McDonald's also. I was 16 years old. I hated it. And I lasted 2 weeks. And then I quit. Never mind. Okay, I learned a lot of social experience during my part-time job, and opened up different perspectives. Okay, so there's maybe two problems here. I learned a lot of social experience, so we don't say learn experience. Okay? You could say I learned a lot, or you could say I gained experience. Gained the dao, right? I gained a lot of experience. So here I would just change this verb. I gained a lot of experience. Of social experience is fine. During my part-time job, and opened up different perspectives. Then what opened up different perspectives? The job, right? So here, the 主词, the subject is I, right? I gained a lot, and, but then the second part is opened up different perspectives, but then we have to change the subject, because I don't open up different perspectives, the job opens up perspectives, right? So we have to add a different subject, and it opened up different perspectives. Okay. After working hard, I received my first salary in my life. So I would say either I received my first salary, maybe my first ever salary, right? Or I received the first salary in my life. Okay? But my first salary in my life sounds a bit strange. I would say the first salary in my life, or just my first ever. It's like my whole life and my first ever salary. So maybe I would change that part. Maybe just I received my first salary. Yeah, that's fine. And I feel very fulfilled. Problem here?
Felt.
Yeah. Again, we need to change the tense. Right? And I felt very fulfilled. Right. Go to college. Maybe you're actually going to college. Because it's like the activity, right? It's the subject. So after going to college, it was the first time that I left home to study. Right, if you say after going to college, it was the first time I left home, it sounds like there's two things, right? One is like after I went to college, that's one thing. Then it was the first time, but the two are together, right? So I would say, maybe going to college was the first time that I left home to study in other counties and cities. Okay, started to learn how to live independently without relying on my parents. Problem? Come on, guys.
From my parents.
Say again?
From my parents.
Relying on, no, you could say rely on, that's okay. It's quite a simple mistake. Really, it's just, what's the subject of the sentence? Let me choose.
When I start there,
Well, Faye, what's the subject in this sentence? It's okay, I'm just asking Faye here, who's one of sitting in front of me. Faye, what's the subject here? Started to learn how to live. Who started? I, yeah? So we need to, oops. Every sentence needs a subject, okay? Otherwise you don't know who is doing what. As before, okay, maybe this one we would make this part of the same sentence. As before, someone would wake me up for school and help me prepare breakfast. Good. In addition, it is also very important to know how to keep accounts and plan your money and time. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Right, hope to achieve, keep a dog. It's like keeping a dog. I've been fond of dogs since I was a child. Fine. Every time I see a dog, I feel very happy and excited, and I hope I can keep it. Don't steal people's dogs, by the way. You know, if you see someone's dog, it's not yours, just remember that. What? Every time I see a dog. Every time I see dogs. You can say both. You can say I see a dog or see dogs. Both is fine. I was too young and my parents thought I didn't know how to take good care of dogs at that time. So when I can afford it, I must raise a dog of my own. Is there a problem here? No. So, no, you can say that. 所以, you know, when I can afford it. What's the problem? Something that sounds a little strange to me here. Tiny, what do you think? Off my own? No, that's okay. Something more simple than that. Sam, what do you think? Don't know. Well, why must you raise a dog? If you say, I must raise a dog, it means that someone 强迫你 forces you to raise a dog. Right? If you say, I must do it, it means you have no choice. Right?
I will.
Right. But of course you have a choice to raise a dog. So here we would say, I will. It's just as simple as that, right? We wouldn't use this moral verb. Marriage. Seeing the sweet days of my parents, since I was a child, I feel very happy. Yeah, it's okay. Maybe it sounds a little 太自然, like not so natural, but seeing the sweet days of my parents, I feel very happy. The sweet days of my parents. That sounds strange. It's nice, but we wouldn't say that in English. Maybe we'd say, seeing, seeing maybe the sweet, I'd say probably the sweet, relationship between my parents. Yeah? So seeing the sweet relationship between my parents since I was a child maybe made me happy or makes me happy. Actually, if you say since, then we'd probably say having seen. Makes me very happy. Because since here is usually since you use this one having. Hope, right, again, subject, I hope. Okay? Otherwise we don't know who hopes. I hope I can also find someone who lovers me. Lover is a person, right? We want the verb, which is just loves, so we don't need this R. Loves me, and so remember we've got first person. Let's do it here. Second person and third person. Okay? So, first person is I, second person is you, third person is he, she, or it. Right? What happens, before we take a break, what happens to the verb? I love, you love, she loves. Right? In the third person, we always change the verb. So we add an S on the end, okay? So here that's fine, someone who loves me, but then this is another verb, accompany. Accompany means to stay with somebody, right? So I accompany, you accompany, but he accompanies, okay? Who loves me and accompanies me maybe in creating would be better, in creating more beautiful memories in the future. And then last one, because it's just 3 lines. Buying a house, I would say buying. In the future, I want to buy a house that belongs to me and decorate it comfortably and beautifully. Let the family live happily and enjoy the time together. Again, let the family. Maybe we need to combine these sentences in order to right? In order to let my family live happily and enjoy our time together. I think that's probably more correct. Okay? So again, there are not many mistakes. Most of the time, the things you have to pay attention to are include a subject or change the subject. Okay? Pay attention to the, fat fingers, to the 时态, the tense, okay? So don't mix the tenses, like if it's past, it's past, okay? Modal verbs, okay? Make sure you get the correct modal verb. But again, not bad, quite good. All right, guys, any questions? No, good. All right, take a break for 10 minutes and then we'll start again after the break, okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
Thank you. All right, guys. Let's start again. Now, we've got this is on page 71 of your book. A. Alright, now this is not difficult. So there were some questions, but I think we don't need to do the questions. Do you want me to read? Shall I read it? Or do you want to read it? That's better. Who am I going to choose? Who's my victim? I'll tell you what, Amber, because you didn't do your homework. You can read the first paragraph. Second paragraph, let's have Ona. And the third paragraph will have Emily. Okay, Amber, off you go. Nice and loud. I'll tell you what, come here. Amber. You can use the board, you don't need to. Come on, don't be shy. And even if you're shy, I don't care, you have to do it. Yeah, you're going to read the first paragraph, just from rich until here. There is no trying, as Yoda says. Your hand.
Rich and Omega.
Legato?
Legato were professional people with successful careers. Every week they work hard. They always intended to do something fun and exciting on the weekends. But in the end, there was never enough time. One day they asked themselves, is this all there is?
Excellent. Thank you. Ona, up you come. Thank you very much. I'm very good. Ona. Shanghai. Second paragraph, please.
They realized
that they want to stop working and
Instead,
to go traveling, or as Rich said, to buy out
freedom.
But first they need to save some money. Every Monday or every month, they live on Rich's salary and accept Amanda's. Then they buy an RV to travel from the bottom of South America to
Brazil.
And from there they hope to get to
Africa.
on a tanner ship.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Anna. And the last one was, who did I choose? I forget. Amelia. Where's Amelia? There we go. Don't be sad. Colleagues. Colleague is a Polish colleague. No, colleagues. It's not college. Colleague. Colleagues. Yeah.
At work, it because you understand which decision your
Closest. Yeah. Closest. Sweet.
they were crazy to go on this kind of
Journey. Yeah.
But finally, the day
Came.
Rich and Amanda left their home and started to live their dream.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Amelia. Very good. Okay. Good job, everybody. Right. So, Rich and Amanda Legato were professional people with successful careers. What does professional mean? Lucas, what's professional? Professional is joignier, right? It means like professional means like someone who is specialized. They do a very specific job, okay? So, for example, you are going to be a nurse, right? Yeah? No? Oh, no, not you. You're going to be a radiologist. That is a professional job, okay? With a successful is success, champion, right? So, champion, the career. Career is a job. Usually a job you do for a long time, right? So, for example, maybe if you work in McDonald's, that's not really a career because you don't need a special training. But a career is like a nurse or a teacher or whatever. Something that you need to have a little training. Usually, and you do the job for a long time. That's a career. Right, every week they worked hard. They always intended to do something fun and exciting. What does intend mean? They intended to do something fun, but in the end, there was never enough time. So intend means, give me another word that's very similar to intend. Are you all dead? Have I got like 30 dead students here? Come on, open your mouths. Wait a moment, and Google Translate. You need to Google Translate intend. I intend to go to Taipei next week. What do I mean? Yeah, I plan, right? It's my 计划, my plan, I intend. So they intended to do something fun and exciting, but there was never enough time. So they had a plan, but they could not do it. Okay? One day they asked themselves, is this all there is? Is my life only work and no fun? Right? They realized, 发现, they realized they wanted to stop working and instead go traveling. Or, as Rich said, to buy our freedom. But first, they needed to save some money. Every month, they lived on Rich's salary. We know salary is 薪水, right? Most of you wrote about your first salary. And saved Amanda's salary. Then they bought an RV. What's an RV? Most people don't know this. Okay. Well, if it's a letter like R and V, it's usually short for something. It's Firefox. Who cares about Firefox nowadays? RV is short for something. R is recreation. Al. Right? It could be recreation, which is fun, or al. It's an adjective. And then V is vehicle. Okay? So an RV looks like this. Right? It's a car that you can sleep in. A camper van, yeah. These are very popular in America, not very popular in my country, in the UK. I don't know why. Americans have too much money. That's the problem. Look at that. That's the inside of an RV. That's way better than my house. Look at this. That's a car. That's crazy. Americans. Too much money. Look at this one. You can put a car inside. Alright, never mind. So, I think they were getting a cheap RV. They hoped to buy an RV to travel from the bottom of South America to Brazil. And from there, they hoped to get to Africa on a container ship. What's a container?
Container means what? Put on big, on water and.
Yeah, exactly. So a ship.
A big ship.
Yeah, a ship is a boat, right? And a container is something that you put something inside. So usually when you move lots of things from one country to another, right? You put them in like a big box, a container. And then you put many, many of these containers on a big ship. Okay, so they want, and because they're mainly for, because they're like this, because they're mainly for things and not people, they're not comfortable, right? So I think maybe you can go on one, but it's cheap and it's not comfortable, right? So they wanted to travel on one of these from South America to Africa. That's what? Yeah, hiding in the box. Well, maybe I think their RV would be on here. I don't know. Anyway. So colleagues, a colleague is a 同事, right? You're a person you work with. A colleague at work found it difficult to understand Rich and Amanda's decision. Even their closest friends, that's like their best friends, yeah, thought they were crazy to go on this kind of journeys, this trip. But finally, the day came, Rich and Amanda left their home and started to live their dream. Right, so why in this article, why have I put some words in red and some words in blue? What do you notice about the words in blue? What? What do they all have in common? Right, they all have the word to in front of the verb. Okay, to do, to stop, to say. What is this called when we do this to the verb? Do you know? Okay. So it's a special form of the verb. Form is shape, right? A special way we use the verb. It's called the, ignore that. It's called the infinitive. Infinitive. Okay? Now, there are different ways that we change the verbs when we put two verbs together. Right? So, let's have a look here. Let me open up a Word document. It's clearer just if I type it. Okay? I want to go. Okay? Now, this is a verb. We'll call this verb 1. And then we have verb 2. Okay? Now when we put, not always, but when we put two verbs together, sometimes the second verb changes the form. Okay? But it's not always like this. Alright? So this is called we have three types of verbs that we're going to look at today. Okay? One is called infinitive. Right? So let's take the verb go. The infinitive would be to go. Right? We have another one called the gerund. Yeah, good. Now, the gerund means it has ing at the end. Okay? And the last one we call the plain. And the plain is just go. With no to and no ing. Amber, are you awake? This is important, this grammar point. You have to pay attention. So, when do we use to go, when do we use going, and when do we use go? So let's look at this. I want to go. Don't judge me for my choice of sentences. I like drinking. Like? I can change that. I like drinking water. And now you can't judge me. Right, I like drinking water. So we have verb 1 and verb 2, but now we have the gerund. Okay? I should go home. All right, we can change that. You're right. There's a reason why. Let's change this. I helped him move. Move house. Right? And now we have one verb. And the second verb is plain. Right? So the second verb can change the form. Sometimes it's infinitive, sometimes it's gerund, sometimes it's plain. Why? Are there any rules? There are rules. And I'm going to tell you those rules. And you're going to learn them. And you're going to become super at English. Okay? So, first of all, let's just look at the plain and the infinitive. Right, have a look at these and think of the correct options. One day I plan go to college, or I plan to go to college. Which one's correct? Go or to go?
To go.
To go. But this year I'm working in a supermarket, earn some money or to earn some money?
Earn some money.
Put your hand up for earn.
Wait.
Wait. Put your hand up for to earn. Put your hand up if you don't care. You should care. It's on your exam. Right, it's to earn some money. Then, is that Andy? Hi Andy. Okay, then I'd like to travel around the world, or I'd to like to travel around the world. Good. I'm so happy, retire or to retire.
Retire.
No.
Oh.
Oh, Andy. Why is it to retire, Lucas?
To sit.
So the thing is, right now, all of you are like, right? Just, it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's not just a feeling. There's a rule, okay? Right, some people, I'm not angry, Andy. Some people tell me I should relax or to relax.
To. Relax. Relax. Should relax.
Yeah, good, should relax. But I don't want sit at home, don't want to sit at home.
I want
To sit.
To sit.
I hope to do, or I hope do, some volunteer.
To do.
To do. These days, it's really difficult to buy or to buy a house.
To go.
My husband and I can't afford or can't to afford.
Can.
So, yeah, can't afford. Andy has to practice, everybody. So we're living with his parents and saving money to buy a place of our own. Now, if I ask you why, you don't know, right? Some of you don't, some of you can, some of you get the wrong answers, but some of you don't know. Right, so here's the rule. Right, we're looking at infinitives, gerunds, and plain. Okay? So remember, the gerund is ing, infinitive is to, okay? And then planes we'll do in a moment. So, whether you use a gerund or an infinitive depends on the main verb, right? So, let's have a look. I expect to have the research completed. I anticipate having the research completed. Now, these two sentences, the meaning is the same, right? It's almost exactly the same. But if we use expect, we need to use the second verb has to be infinitive. If we use anticipate, the second verb has to be the gerund, right? Now, so this is the first rule, and it's not a real rule, but it's just, unfortunately, sometimes English is like this. It depends on the verb, sometimes, all right? So for example, enjoy. I enjoy eating. I fancy going. We discussed dating. I dislike drinking. I finished working. I mind right? I mind waiting. I suggest going to there to eat. I recommend staying at the hotel. I keep writing to my friend, and I avoid queuing, right? Now, sometimes these, you just have to remember that some verbs is always followed by ing, gerund, okay? But there's not many verbs. You just have to remember some. But there are some other rules. after a preposition. Remember, a preposition is a jis, right? So for example, on, of, about, before, after, over, don't. So, I made dinner before getting home. Before is a preposition, so the verb after is always gerund. He looked unhappy after seeing his work schedule. So after is a preposition, so gerund is after. Okay? So that's a good rule to remember. After prepositions, a place and time. It could be place and time. The third rule for a gerund is when the word is the subject or the object of a sentence. Right? So for example, Lachlan likes eating coconut oil. If you say Lachlan likes and then a thing, Lachlan likes books, Lachlan likes water, Lachlan likes that girl, right? It's always Lachlan likes and then an object, right? We can change the object to a verb. Lachlan likes running. Lachlan likes swimming in the sea. Lachlan likes eating pasta. Okay? So if the verb is an object, it's always ing. Okay? Because it's like a noun. It's actually called a noun. It's called a gerund. What? What is an object? Shows. Yeah, oh. Right? Remember that if we, not in every sentence, but in most, well, in every sentence we have a subject, right? For example, the boy, what? So sometimes there's always a subject and a verb, right? So you could say the boy is sleeping, all right? The boy here is the subject. Okay? And is sleeping is the verb. Right? Subject is Jutsu. But then we can also have an object. So for example, the boy likes cake. And now cake is the object. It's the thing. It's the thing affected by the verb. Okay? Jessica, do you understand? Good. So, if we use a verb for the subject or the object, it's always ing. So jumping off a cliff is dangerous. So jumping off a cliff is the subject. Okay, is the activity. Or he likes running is the object. Okay? So if it's a subject or an object, it's always ing. So these are the three rules for the gerund. Okay? So one, sometimes just after certain verbs, you just have to remember. But I won't do that in the exam, really, unless it's very, very simple. Two, after a preposition. And three, if it's a subject or an object. Okay? You understand? We all good so far? Amber, you look in pain. Larry's got his head on the desk, having a, what's happening here? Right, infinitives, so to, right? Again, after some verbs, I agreed to go, I asked to stay, I decided to leave, okay? So now some verbs. Two, after a verb-object combination. If you look here, I asked him. Subject, verb, object. And now, another verb, right? So we have verb, object, verb. So when we put an object in the middle of two verbs, like this, the second verb is always infinitive. Okay? Not always, there are 3 exceptions, I will tell you. I would like her, so I, subject, would like, verb, her, object, verb to visit. All right? So if you put an object in the middle, always use infinitive. Number 3, after an adjective, it's hard to make dinner this late. Hard is an adjective, 形容词. Right? So after a 形容词, always use to. I find it difficult to describe. Difficult is a 形容词, add to afterwards. Alright? And 4, to show purpose. Purpose is the 原因, why you do something. The why. So in Chinese, most of the time that's like 为了做这个我就那样, right? So I left for Russia to study Russian. So I went to Russia, why? Because to study Russian, that's the purpose, right? That's the reason you do it. I came to the office to solve, that's a stupid sentence, I'll change that. Let's say to find my keys. I didn't write these sentences, by the way, they're from the internet, but it's fine. Right, I came to the office to find my keys. So that's the reason, the purpose or the reason. Do you understand? Yeah? Okay, so that's infinitives. Some verbs, verb, object, adjectives, purpose or reason. Yes? Bathroom. Okay, that's important. Yes, go. That's the only reason you guys put your hand up. You never ask questions, you never answer questions, but you put your hand up for the bathroom. Taiwan, the land of bladders. Right, infinitives without to, so the plain form. Okay? Remember, plain form is no to, no ing. We use modal verbs. A modal verb is used to give more information about the verb, such as time, ability, possibility. For example, I will travel to the US next week. What's the verb? No. The verb is travel. Okay? Will tells you when. But you cannot use a modal verb alone. You cannot say, I will to the US. Right? Ability, I can speak Chinese. Speak is the verb. You can say, I speak Chinese. But you cannot say, I can Chinese. Okay? So modal verbs, we don't use them alone. And possibility, I might go to the party. So every time you use a modal verb, the verb after is always plain, right? It's not I will to go, I will to travel, or I will traveling. It's always I will travel. It's always the plain, okay? I mean, this you already know, right? So the main verb that follows the modal verb is always in the plain form. So no to, no ing, no s. For example, she. I go, she goes. Right? I will go, she will go. Not she will goes. Alright? So the verb doesn't change. It's always in the plain form after a modal verb. The second time, can you think of any, we've got I will, I can, I might. What are some other modal verbs? Should. Any more? What? Do, it is, yeah. You can say I do like it. For emphasis or for questions. I may, I could, I would. All right. Now, the other rule, there's only two, for plain verbs, there's only two rules. One is modal, and the other one is, there are three verbs we use where the verb that comes after is plain. I should write. Plain. Right. These three verbs are let. Let me carry that for you. Right? Not let me to carry, not let me carrying, just let me carry. So here we have the verb object, right? So you think, verb object, I use to, but because it's the verb let, we always use the plain. Okay, so don't be tricked. So let, help. My father helped build. And last one, make. My mother made me study. Right? So let, help, or make. Three verbs. And the verb that follows is always the plain. Alright? So just to 重复一下, infinitives. When do we use them? Remember to. When do we use them? After some verbs. And then there's two more rules. After, yeah, after a preposition, and to show a purpose. No, wait, no, prepositions are ing. Sorry, that's the gerund. So, some verbs to show purpose. I'm going there to study. Verb object. I asked him to come. Adjectives. It's easy to learn. Alright? Gerunds. We use them with some verbs after a preposition. So, after eating, before finishing your class, please do. And then verb as a subject or an object. And the last one is the plain after let, help, or make, or with a modal verb. Alright? I think you should take a picture of this because it's useful. It will help you to remember. Oh, you have time, don't worry. I know you're all looking at your watch, but it's my class. And I tell you when we're finished. And when you're not finished, you're going to do this first. Right? Right now. Have a look. I'll give you 2 minutes. So, choose the correct form of the verb and tell me why. To become, becoming, become. To become, why? No. To show purpose. Why are you studying? I'm studying because to become a nurse. Right? Is to show purpose. Okay. 为了的意思 exactly. Yes. So 为了成为护士，我就去 CST 学习。对。Right? In my opinion, to run, running, run. Why? It is the subject, right? So in my opinion, it's like a different part of the sentence. Running is the best form of exercise. Running is the subject, and then the rest is the predicate. Okay, so subject. Number 3, it's not easy to find why. What? Yes, because after an adjective, we use infinitive. Jane should study. Why? Modal verb. Should. I'm crazy about playing football. Why? Why? Yeah, because about is a preposition. Okay? I made him come. Why? Good, because make is the verb. Oops. So even though we have a verb object, this verb is special. Alright, so we always use the plain. Number 7, I told him to try, told him trying, told him try. It's to try. Why? Yes, because we have verb, object, verb. Okay? And it's not this verb. It's a normal verb. And then number 8. I don't like to walk. Don't like. Okay, so you could say I don't like to walk. I don't like to walk to school. But usually I don't like walking to school. Because here it's the object. Like is a bit strange. Sometimes you can say I like and then to as well. But, so in your exam, I'll try not to use like because it's too, it's not clear enough. All right? You have homework. It's just this stuff. It's just practice this. Right? It's different. It's like this. I will give you a sentence. You choose the verb and you tell me why. You give me the reason. You have to know the reason. Right?